How's it going, people? Hope you're all doing well and that the weekend is going alright with all of you. Today I wanted to bring some attention to something that was said recently in an interview with Masayoshi Yokoyama, the head of RGG Studio. This interview took place at the San Diego Comic-Con, and the interview is up on YouTube for everybody to watch, so I'm gonna leave the link in the description if you want to watch it for yourself and you still haven't. But Mr. Yokoyama does reveal some very interesting details about the upcoming show, which I haven't talked about in the last video because at that time I still haven't seen the interview. So I figured I would make another video talking about, everything that he said, because it does kind of bring some very interesting possibilities. So I'm just going to be leaving this interview in the background while I talk about, what's being said in here. Again, you can watch the thing. The link is going to be in the description. But basically, he talks about having already done like a movie adaptation of the first Yakuza, which was released in like 2006. Now, if you don't know anything about that movie adaptation, it's interesting to note that that adaptation did not recreate the events of the game one-to-one. In fact, it was quite different. I didn't watch the movie entirely for myself. I did watch some parts, but I know enough to tell that there are new characters. Majima shows up more or like in different places, stuff like that. The point is, it wasn't like a one-to-one recreation, and despite that, it still managed to get like a bit of a following. So I guess if we had to talk about something that is sort of reassuring, if at least we take Mr. Yokoyama by his word, is that there will be surprises almost every 30 seconds. So even if he's exaggerating a little bit, say, for example, it's like every minute of an episode, I think that's still quite nice, and it might offer some, fun watches for the fans. I also think it's pretty funny to note that Yokoyama said it's so good, the upcoming show that is, to the point that he was jealous. I could only wonder just how good the show might be. I mean, again, it's too early for us to tell, but we just have to take him at his word here, right? But of course, I'm not making any actual judgments until we see the actual thing. He does also state that they didn't neglect the original story. The most important part of this whole thing is this bit where he mentions that the portrayal of the characters is a bit different from what we usually know. Like, for the most part, it might even be a somewhat original story, or I guess the better word is like a reimagination of Yakuza 1, right? So some bits might be different. He did also mention that there will be original characters exclusive to the show. He talks about a female character in particular, as if he's like kind of building her up, like she might be a new fan favorite or something. I can only wonder who that is. Maybe it's Nishiki's sister showing up for once? But at the same time, that's not an original character, but at the same time, if you think about it, she kinda is, because she never shows up in the game, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. Also, for what it's worth, he does say that the people who like the games will enjoy this, saying that the spirit is there, for what that is worth. He does also talk about the history of Yakuza outside of Japan, which is always like a really like melancholic topic to look back at, right? Because it really wasn't the best in terms of like sales. It struggled for so long, but finally, at some point, it found a foothold globally. He didn't think it would sell well globally, which, I mean, considering that they had a certain demographic in mind, it sort of makes sense. They made it for the adult Japanese male, but it's funny because I think it became way more popular with the adult Japanese woman. And then once we got Yakuza 0 outside of Japan, boom, it happened. We started getting Yakuza game after Yakuza game after Yakuza game, and then, we got like global releases. It wasn't like a case where we had to wait for the games anymore. But yeah, there's not too much more to say here. This leaves just a little kind of small bit of the video where I wanted to speculate about something. Somebody I talked to on Twitter yesterday brought up a very, very interesting theory, given that, they're going for like a reimagination of the story. What if they mix Nishiki and Jingu into one villain? Now, I don't know how they're gonna do that, but I feel like that idea, like the more you think about it, the more potential it actually has for a reimagination of the story. Because Jingu, for the most part, is just some guy who shows up at the end and he fulfills his purpose, I guess. But I think it would be really interesting if Nishiki and Jingu were mixed into one character. And hey, maybe that's why Nishiki looks so much like Jingu in the cover. You know what I mean? So maybe that person I was talking to was cooking something, but I guess we'll have to wait and see about that, right? Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. I know that, them taking creative liberties with creating like their own take on the story might be something that not everyone is happy with, because I mean, you will always have people who just want like a one-to-one recreation, right? Which I understand the appeal of that. And by the way, I think that is possible to do. It absolutely is. You can adapt a video game like Yakuza to TV, and it would work very well. But I also think there is some appeal in reimagining a story that already exists, right? Again, as long as they respect the source material and they don't stray too far from what made the original story really good, I think there definitely is value in, taking creative freedom in what they do to retell the story. So I'm not like fully positive about this yet, and I'm not fully pessimistic about this yet. I'm just waiting to see what we get out of this, and again, only after that I will form my full opinion on this. But yeah, again, let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching this video and for making it this far, and I'll see you in the comments and in the next video. Bye bye now.